world, and you see the road, a map to my soul, and tell me the signs whenever the smoke clear out of my face, and my picture perfect, do I look fine? All of that green and yellow that drip from your eyes is telling, tell your demise, I'm with to my side, to push back the ceiling, and push back the feelings, eyes to the side, I'll be there tonight, so
And well, let's start again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round four's the business end of our season one coverage of Le Mans Ultimate here at IRC, sponsored by Racesims. We are here in Fuji Speedway. It's the WEC layout, back at it again with the longer layout. It's going to be a fun one today, I can guarantee you that, folks. We are just about going to be underway with qualifying real soon. It's a topsy-turvy. It's a fight at the top. A lot of action last weekend around, so we are expecting more of the same in Fuji, especially with the extra spice added by the coordinators here. So we'll jump into that in a moment. Just to kind of have a look at the standings, Deepak. Let's have a look at what's what. You've got Athul Bhaskar in P1, almost 17 points in his Lamborghini, ahead of Dark Knight. Dark Knight having a string of good, consistent races in P2 in that BMW. And I believe Tire God, I'm not sure who that is.
That's Herman, I believe.
Herman and Dawa in P3. There's only 2 points separating these two, so it's going to be a good fight. An aspiring change in that BMW. Yeah, 488 points. So a lot of competition there in the mid pack, and Atul kind of leading away. Moto is in P6. He's having great results, but last time around we got that infamous incident between the two, so we'll have to see how that pans out this time around. Moto does have a qualifying ban this time around, so he will have to start all the way from the back, which is just making things worse. But yeah, that's the way the standings are. Kanak is in P5, so he's also not all that too far away from that P2. And as you know, season one of LMU here has prize pool, so graciously sponsored by Racesims. And yeah, here is that very information. Got first place, 2,700 rupees. Athul Bhaskar now in touching distance of gaining all that sweet cash prize. P2 1900, P3 1400, and all the way down to P8. So a lot of competition and a lot of money up for grabs. And yeah, at the end of it, to our loyal participants, we have a lucky draw for 2 of them. All right, so this is the standings, and this is round 4. We are now in the game. Not sure if we can hear the game all too well, but because everybody's sitting in the pits. Hamad Randava last time around taking P1, so it's a fantastic end result for him. Will he be able to follow it up this time around? We'll have to wait and watch. But yeah, lo and behold, it's a wet qualifying here for the boys. That's going to just spice things up oh so much, I can say, because this is a track with a lot of high-speed corners, or medium-speed and high-speed corners, and yeah, just a beautiful blend all throughout. So we'll definitely keep an eye on who's able to get that right strategy in place for this weekend. So yeah, it's all to play for here.
It's a wet and wild session, as you could say. I mean, this circuit already, it's quite a interesting circuit. Some very good braking zones. It's a combination of all kind of corner types. You see Herman just going sideways through that little chicane, which is really testing even in the normal conditions, and the wet, it definitely is not making things easier for these guys. So yeah, really looking forward for some very interesting results. I mean, last weekend, because of certain incidents, we had like a very jumbled up result on the top, which really shuffled things around. So yeah, like I said, the championship picture is wide open, and we are right at the business end. This is the penultimate round, and we just got one more round to go. So it's all to play for here, and yeah, definitely the wet circuit, it's gonna make things a little different and difficult.
Yep. And it's just, and as you come towards the entire season, simply just playing it safe with all dry races simply isn't cutting it. And I don't know, I think it's a great decision by you and the coordinators here to kind of spice things up and get to see, especially with Price Pool on the line, whether they can really cut it out in all forms here. But yeah, as it stands, Sakityagi and looks like it's Aradhya Gupta in P1 now, and the conditions are going to improve. I hope the times struggle over time, but yeah, lots of BMWs on track, and it's all to play for. That's the great equalizer, as they say, the rainy conditions here. We'll have to wait and watch on who's able to keep it on track. 15 minutes of quali left, so good amount to get your bearings about, get the setup right. Tanesh Agarwal in P2. Also, I think they're really putting down the metal here in the initial stages.
And these are the first few laps, so the drivers were obviously, I mean, the practice session, I did hear them saying about something about track evolutions. I'm not sure if it was actually track evolution or just a placebo of them just driving around and just getting the better hang of it. But whatever it is, the trend was that the lap times do go down. So yeah, and you see Athul has gone to the top with 50.2. So yeah, it looks like there's a lot of catching up to do from the other drivers.
Oh, that's a spin out! And he narrowly avoids the wall there. But yeah, blistering laps and by Athul Bhaskar. They're 1.1 seconds already. That's making a bold statement. I heard earlier, and this is just him toying with the rest of the field. And he kept making the statement in the practice session. I wonder who's going to put out the fastest lap. I wonder who's going to be putting in the times to kind of dictate the pace and the number of laps of this round. And he was so nonchalantly saying it, and having said that, his first lap of the day, blistering 1.1 seconds ahead of the rest. So it's all those mind games coming into this end of the season here, and he's definitely got one hand on the trophy.
Yep, looks to be the case, but he definitely doesn't need a mistake like he did in the last round. Last round, in case you didn't know, he had a spin on turn 4 where he was leading in a comfortable position, and did end up violating one of the committing one of the cardinal sins of doing an unsafe rejoin in the middle of the circuit and lost his rear wing. That really put a dent on his race. I'm pretty sure if that result had gone his favor, the championship picture would have been very, very different, but he would definitely be hoping he doesn't get caught up in anything like that. Considering that the Fuji turn 1, it's a hard braking zone after a very long straight. It almost reminds you of Mexico in F1. You got a very long straight and then a very sharp braking zone, which always leads to some really, either it's gonna be like the move of the decade, or it's gonna be like an absolute cluster of cars just going sideways. So he'll obviously be hoping that it's the first case and not the second one. So that's something he's gonna have to watch out for.
Yeah, I mean, but at least he made his donation to the track last time around. I think those front wings are still there on track today. Alright, so going through the field, James Robin, aka Dark Knight, who's in P2 in the championship. He's currently in P5. He is Mr. Consistent here as of round 3. And keeping away from trouble, keeping the foot lightly on the gas to make sure that he's got that pace and consistency all through the season. We'll definitely keep an eye on him, but I don't see any improvements as of right now. But yeah, the biggest point, which is I'll come back to that in a little bit. But yeah, who looks to be doing better than usual on track today?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I think AVD is really been in a very consistent position right now. In the practice session, his lap times was really good. It was P5 or something on the pile, which is really good considering it's a wet session and everything. It's a very good lap time and it's a very good place for him to be at this current moment. Other than that, of course, Aradhya Gupta again, he's turning again on his typical controller pace. So yeah, some really good performances put by Aradhya as well.
Is Suyash on the mouse and keyboard?
I am not so sure. I think he might be on the mouse and keyboard, but well, it depends on if his father is around or not, because he did say that his father doesn't like him using the sim wheel. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but he does have a very smooth input even on a mouse and keyboard. So he's a master of mouse and keyboard in our community. So it's quite hard to judge.
I think it's all in the accelerator and brake that we can get to know how choppy it is. Looks fairly clean to me, so I'm guessing he's on the wheel tonight. Just so much tougher on the keyboard on a wet track like Fuji that we have today. He's looking able to pass his lap. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's definitely modulating. He's definitely modulating this.
Yep.
He's got that sneaky wheel out for today. Who else? So everybody is doing good. P6. Ramanandava is P9, so we want to get a move on. Who else?
The last race winner Sarthak Panda, who's in P14. Not sure what he has enough pace or just where he is standing right now, but last race he did, I mean, it was inherited, but still at the end of the day he had to be there to take that, and he had a good run, so hopefully he has that form going around. But I don't think it's happening in this lap, or is it? Nah, he stays P14, so he'll obviously be looking for some more improvements going forward.
Yeah, completely missing team on there. I have this case. But if we go to the standings, I want to point out a big miss and a man who's off the beaten path, shall I say, right now. Not the standings on the in-game. Sorry, did not want to confuse you. That as of this race, Hardik Pari is on a quali ban, so he has no footing in this qualifying. So he's going to be starting all the way back in P24. That Porsche is just sitting and marinating, and who knows what's on his mind right now. He'll probably be studying the lines of everybody else, spectating just as we are. He will definitely want to watch out for in the race. Vijay Agarwal, AK Vicious, he had a lot of action last time around, and he's not able to get the right grip or the right setup as it stands. P19 today in that Aston Martin. I don't know, what do you think is going wrong with is the lines, is it the confidence, is it skill issue, what
I wouldn't call that. I mean, this is he's racing in a controller, so obviously it's not very straightforward, and these are very testing conditions. So it is understandable that he's down there. I think it's just a matter of him just getting confidence a little bit more by just driving around a little bit more. So hopefully he can make a little more forward steps. But again, like I said, he's driving in a controller, so Yeah, I think there should be some slack cut off for that case.
Moving on to a very infamous character in recent times, Rohit Chakraborty, aka Rogue Fear. He had a bit of tussling with the rest of the community in the Discord server. If you haven't joined us, please do, for banter and all things similar related. Yeah, he's good to see him on track. He's relatively new to the simulating scene here, so it's good to see him still duking it out, albeit he's 17. We love to see you put in that effort. It's a long journey here. You don't get to the top of the field just in a day's time. So yeah, kudos to him for sticking it out.
Yep, and as you can see by some series on a keyboard, which is a very difficult undertaking, particularly in LMU, so yeah, props to that, to be honest. And moving on, I think Athul is on his hot lap run. Well, not this lap most likely, but I think he's setting up for another one.
I hope those area flags are not impeding his hot lap, but yeah, let me, Deepak, why don't you walk us through his hot lap here, 5.5 minutes to go.
Right, so coming on to the first corner, very hard braking zone, even the rise, it's very tricky. Athul has a slightly missed the apex, it's not a very perfect one, and has a bit of a squiggly moment on the exit as well. So not very ideal turn 1, but onwards we go on to turn 2, which is a very fast left-hander. You need to cut the inside, but not take too much on the outside. The curve really upset you through, and on we go to the long sweeping turn 3. It's like the turn goes forever and ever and just tights up a little bit on the end, and before you could even think what's happening, on you go to turn 4. A very hard braking zone, can definitely be a good oating spot, or also a spot where you lock up and go straight on. And on we go on to the fast right-hander, again heading up to a very sharp chicane on the end of this after building up some good speed. Again, a very good overtaking spot, but also a chance where he can mess things up through the chicane. Takes the inside, proper apexes, cuts this curve for good effect. Now here go outside a little bit and then just turn in the car, clip the apex on the inside, and this next corner is super duper tricky in any conditions. Wets, it's, you can already see him just jostling with the car to get it move where he wanted to, and he backs off. Most likely he is not satisfied with that lap, so I guess he's backing off to set up the next lap. But like I was saying, the third sector, it's absolutely treacherous, and it's a very inviting set of corners. I was just saying to these guys, it's very inviting to just sneak ascend on the inside while you're racing. Like, you'll be like, fine, there's a gap, I can go for it, because the racing line itself takes you further out and it makes you open up the line, which is a very, very enticing invitation if you're the guy behind. So that is obviously going to be something that drivers are going to be very careful about and be cautious. So yeah.
Indeed. And yeah, I think he messed up turn 1, which we didn't set him up for the rest of the lap, but he did a good middle sector. And under 3 minutes to go, I don't see any more improvements around, which isn't ideal. But yeah, from the pace that we saw from Athul, it not necessarily be worsening conditions. So I think it's pretty constant. So we'll kind of wait and see if any of the numbers. And yeah, it isn't the best sight to see, the entire stack over a second away from P1, but such is the domination that Athul has imposed over the rest of the day.
And I think we just saw one Beamer falling victim to the wet conditions, just parked on the side of the circuit. Hopefully that's not a very common sighting in the race, because it is a very challenging circuit and track condition combo. So yeah, hopefully they get themselves tuned in before the race starts properly and just get locked in.
Yeah, from what I can see, many people are improving in sector 2, but sector 1 simply isn't going too well. I think that is a sign of the track getting considerably better in those 2 sectors. So I'm not expecting any more improvements for the rest of this session. Yeah, this is another classic example there. Raj Modi 1.3 seconds from his best. Yeah, unfortunate. Third 1.5 minutes to go. Who has any pace left in them will have to wait and watch. But as it stands, Athul Bhaskar very happily in P1. Aradhya Gupta in with his controller in P2 1.18 seconds. And then you've got 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 5 with Tanish Agarwal, Akit Tyagi, and James Robin. They've put in, these are all their initial laps. It's been a very quiet middle session. I'm just coming to see the end of the lap from Raj Modi here. Very curious to see if he had any more grip going into the third sector and whether he improved on that. As he crosses the line. Now, oh no, yeah, that's considerably slower there. So I'm not expecting anything else. But yeah, Suyar Singh is improving on his best time.
I mean, he's done a personal best. The target time is the pole lap time that you see, and he's 1.1 off. But it's his personal best, so he's improving on his own lap time at least.
Yeah, and that's what will count if he wants to make some crucial positions, get out of that mid pack. That's where the most action and most, what I say, fish markety vibes are on the grid. So you'll have, yeah, but having said that, it's dead on in sector 2, which is not good. And I'm assuming, and from what I could see from the rest of the track, it's not a very green sector 3, so I'm not expecting him to improve here as he rounds out and finishes his final hot lap. Time is up in this session. Will he improve? No, he's stopping
off. That's a weird decision. I don't know why he's done that, but yeah, the session is over.
That's all she wrote. Deepak, maybe you want to also reduce your mic input. It looks to be cutting off.
That's right. Let's do that.
Oh, that's not enough, buddy.
Okay. Well, I mean, people usually used to say that the mic input is not properly coming across on the stream, so I had to increase it a little bit. Hopefully that's not the case this time around. Okay, I guess we'll be moving on to the race session soon. Quali is over. We'll just run through the results once all the cars are in. But yeah, I mean, this quali was not necessarily very surprising, or how to put it. There's not a lot of fight for pole. Athul just stamped his authority right from the get-go, and Aradhya tried his best, and the best was 1.1 seconds off. That's like another level of, I don't know, it's another level of pace. And actually I expected Tanish to be a little more higher up, so he'll definitely be looking to, you know, get ahead on the race at least, because right now it's not a very good, I mean, it's P3, not bad. You can still make up a lot of positions. So in championship he is languishing down further than where he'd like to be in, so he'll definitely be looking to correct that in today's race. So yeah, interesting race start coming up.
Indeed. Hope the graphic comes up too. But I'm just from all the action that we've seen with Tanish this season, it's so interesting how it pans out. Yeah. Athul Bhaskar in P1 in the Lamborghini Aradhya, in P2 that's the front row. Tanish Agarwal in the black Mercedes, Ankit Tyagi, the lead Lexus, good lap from him. James Robin and Abdul Wakil rounding out another group of BMWs. They are hot for cash prize. Rajmouli, P7, good showing again from Siyash. Good improvement this time. Aman Randhawa, winner from the last round in P9, not such a good showing. And Apur Semwal in P10. Bhargya, Yogi and Nehuja are all the way back in row 6. Nikhil Sambre, aka Supreme Kai and Sathik Panda. Rogue Fear and Nikhil Joji in row 8. So these folks will be hounded by the likes of Hardik Pari in lap 1, so they'll have to keep an eye on their mirror. Vijay Agarwal right ahead of Hardik Pari there. We'll have to see how he is able to defend on the inside from what I can gather. P21 for the man himself, Shan 7 in P23, Shiv Kiran in P24. So I'm not sure if he was even there to begin with in the session. Didn't see any left from him, but hopefully he gets out there. And yeah, 2 minutes to go for the session.
Yeah, so I think we spoke enough about how the race start order might be. Like you said, motor starting from all the way back, and yeah, I mean he's got very good pace going on, so he'll definitely be looking to make the most out of it. But most importantly, I'm not sure if you've noticed enough, it's not raining here anymore. Is it like the percentages have kicked in the favor of a dry race? I'm not so sure.
I don't know how this is going to change things, but this might benefit Aradhya Gupta, considering that he'll have more traction, or might go the other way because his traction control settings may now not benefit him. And the wheel users who are off and have more control. So it'll be very interesting to see how Aradhya Gupta fares against the wheel users. Anish Agarwal will definitely be happy now, now that he can put a little more pressure on the top 2. So that's definitely one to watch out for. And yeah, all to play for in the mid pack. Abdul Wakid had a good qualifying session, at least in my eyes, P6. And I think he's got a good chance to also move up the ladder. I'll have to wait and watch how he manages. But yeah, under 40 seconds to go. What are your predictions for the top 3, Deepak?
I think it's going to be the top 3 as it is, but I just have a feeling that Danish will just overtake Aradhya, and it'll be like Athul, Danish, and Aradhya is what I feel like. But although I wouldn't count out people like Herman Randhawa and even James Robin to sneak in and get a good result, because James, like I said, has not been very blistering in terms of pace, but one thing he has been is keeping clear of trouble and getting consistent results throughout. So he will definitely be looking to get a very good result, probably move up because he's in a very good position for that. He'll probably be hoping that there is some incident in turn 1 for him to capitalize on, which I hope doesn't happen, but obviously yes, it's to each their own priorities, and he'll definitely be looking for any opportunities to improve upon his own standards. Yeah, we're on the final corner, and on we go to the long straight down and down. It's gonna take a while for the drivers start to line up, form up properly, and if you don't form correctly, that you do start to get a penalty. So I hope they do stay in correct positions. And
let's go on board with Hardik Pari. I'm very, very curious to see how he slices through the field or gets caught up in it. It's gonna be a good one, boys. Let's get ready to race.
Athul is much further up ahead. I think he's making the most out of whatever the game's allowing him to. Having a very good lead on him. Slightly backing off to make sure that's not the case.
And it's green, and he doesn't move at all. And James Robin has got him napping it all. He moved up 2 places there. That's a quick showing. I think going side by side and now into the lead, going to T1 with Athul. But Athul has the inside line. I think that going around the outside. We've got a BMW cutting the grass and then slicing through the entire field. Surprisingly not hitting anybody there. But yeah, Herman Randhawa moving up the field and Danish Agarwal down into P10. An absolutely horrendous start for him. Naki Taki too falling a lot of positions behind. What's up with that? Well, it looks like. Yes, please go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I think the move's done, but that's a very good move on the outside where Rohit Chakraborty, and he's turning on the inside. Not a very good position there, but he does send it on the outside. That was a good move. Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to see the least.
Yeah, and Surya Singh taking the grass and then some. Rohit Chakraborty also in P7. Fantastic starts from these two, all the way up in the top. I must say, Herman Randhawa not getting the best of starts, staying where he is. But the biggest winner here so far is Athul Bhaskar, who's now in P3. Lot of fighting there, squeezed down the inside, and Herman Randhawa fighting and pushing his way
There's
through.
an incident up ahead, and I think that's the Lexus of Apu Sam was spun around, and there's even more incidents going on. This guy is just hustling around, and Tanish sending one down on the inside, almost 3 wide momentarily, but he's looking to make his way up the order. So yeah, very clumsy Lapan in some cases, but yeah, it's been very chaotic to say the least.
Look who we have behind these three. It's Hardik Parikh all the way from P21. He's already P8 going down the inside or around the outside of Danish Agarwal. Sandwich between Athul Bhaskar. Who's going to be the latest of breakers? No, that's Herman Randhawa, who's cutting down the inside. No, Danish Agarwal breaks later and keeps the position. I think Bari in the meanwhile is being hounded by Rohit Chakraborty, and he's a little cautious there, goes down the inside, and that's Surya Singh who spun out in turn 3. That is his race done and dusted. Unfortunate for him, that going all the way down the back. James Robin too had some contact, and these two have all the way down, and is spun in the long sweeping right handle. That's a horrible race, one to forget for James Robin.
Yep, I mean, we just speaking of James Robin and immediately just spinning around on the offset of the corners. That's not a very good start for him. He'll obviously be looking to climb back up when the pit stop phase comes in, but right now it just looks like a long way to catch up back, which Hardik Parikh has done really good. He's all the way up to P7 and he's pounding the back of Apu Sam, nudging him forward to just get a move on. He wants to get up there. He's flashing his lights, letting it know that he just wants to get a move done, but not going through here. It's not happening. And Apu Sam just says, just hold on buddy, I need to get ahead of these corners. So yeah, Motor's really cutting his way through the field. Hopefully there's no incidents in that. He does not offer to have any incident points anymore. He's just one penalty point away from the race ban. So I hope he did have a clean climb up through the grid.
Yeah, let's hope that is the case. As it stands now, after so much kerfuffle, after so many incidents with Suyash, with James Robin, I'm shocked to say that Danish Agarwal, who was down at P10 at the end of lap 1, is now back into P4. So a lot of shuffling up and down the field for that to make a difference. And now Surya Singh is trying to make that comeback.
Yes, makes an opportunistic move on that Halloween themed Rexy livery of Afzan. And yeah, I want to see another incident up ahead. I think that was Mugi and that's the McLaren of Shiv Kiran being spun around. Yeah, this being very clumsy through turn 2 at least, to be honest.
Indeed, just no prisoners there on that. We've got already had 2 or 3 folks in every lap make a mess of that sweeping right-hander. It's just asking for trouble, especially when you take a different lane. So in this case, Shiv being the unfortunate victim. Hardik Parikh has gone down the inside and made the move on. Athul Bhaskar moves up into P6. So now he has some fresh air actually to make some ground and get away from this chasing back. Herman Randhawa is his next victim, 3 seconds ahead. Afzan having a good showing last time around, but yeah, kind of supremely caught in the mid pack as of right now.
And right now things seems to have settled down a little bit, at least. By settled I mean kind of a single file, but although this turn one and the long slipstream does provide a lot of opportunities for sending any kind of surprise moves, which Swayash did on Alzan, but Alzan seems to have got back the pace. So good for him, and Swayash has some more work to do right now to get his way up the path. Yeah, sending another surprise move on the inside, nudging Alzan through. And yeah, Alzan isn't going to be too happy about this, but it's the second time in a row that Swayash has poked his nose through there. This time felt a little bit too optimistic. So yeah, Swayash might want to be a little careful around those and not get himself into hot waters.
That's yeah. You see action all around Sathak Panda now and Rohit Chakraborty. Rohit Chakraborty had a great start, and now it's his pace that will keep him there. So now he's on the back foot defending from what was once Hardik
Wait, we didn't notice this. ABD had slipped down to P7. What happened to ABD? He was running in P3.
Oh no. I have to look at the replay for that. But yeah, from P3 all the way down to P7, that's unfortunate for him.
It would be very interesting to see what happened, because I think he was sitting in a very comfortable P3. There was not a lot of cards around him by the look of things. But yeah, will be interesting to see what happened. But going back to this midfield kerfuffle going on, it's like three cars sticking together. Swayash, Afzan and Yogi going all together, and Swayash has been very feisty too, and Afzan seems to be much more closer to Miyagi this time around, so he'll definitely be wanting to get a move on and get away from Swayash as much as he can, and thinks that he wants to be away from that turn by the time the turn one comes through. Seems to have a good overlap, well side by side, and I think he'll have a very good move into turn one if he breaks perfectly.
Yeah, but there's also the chance of a switchback line, which he is thinking of taking Yogi, but Swayash also thought about the same thing and got cut off there. Luckily there was no contact.
And Afzan goes wide. That will give Yogi an opportunity to make a move here, but where will he go? Will he go on the inside or the outside? But yeah, has to stay behind for now. But yeah, Afzan seems to be a bit clumsy throughout, not getting the correct lines, and that's opening up an opportunity for the guys behind. And Swayash also seems to be very, very restless, just wants to get ahead of this entire thing, but he's bottled up right now behind these two guys.
And it's a tough situation for Yogi, especially because he's got a faster car behind, and any slip up of an attack which he's not able to capitalize on, Swayash is right there to make the move. So he's got no breathing space, he's not got no space to kind of find the right line and experiment and do some trial and error. He's got to be on it. The moment he gets offline and a half-baked move goes wrong, that's curtains for him.
Yep, indeed. So that's a very what to put it, very real danger when you're racing in the park. You got to be very measured about your moves. If you make one move, you will immediately go from the hunter to the hunted. So yeah, I hope he's gonna be very careful about very playful move, but I don't think he's in the position to make any move right now. Meanwhile, Swayash seems to have a very good run, and we can see him closing ever so menacingly with that terrifying facade of the Lamborghini. And he goes around the outside. Will Miyagi be able to outbreak him and have the inside line, or will Swayash send it around the outside? Goes around the outside and has done enough on the brakes. Miyagi hangs on the inside, gives him a space, good respect to these both cars, and Swayash seems to have gotten the place done and dusted.
That's exactly what we talked about last time around. Swayash just biding his time, and yeah, one decisive move, and that's all it took. Now he's got to make that move again on AFZan. Is a little more unpredictable. The factor that he needs to consider. He's definitely got the pace to cut through these and even probably the next 2 or 3 cars ahead. But how cleanly he's able to do it in these twisting high-speed corners is another game on. Sathak Panda, he's had a topsy-turvy kind of a start. He's now on the back of, I think that's Maruja. Very, very wide line there, compromising himself all through the start of Sector 3. We'll have to wait and see if Sathik Panda is able to make any take any opportunities from that. But now it's a 4-pack, and with a 4-pack you've got all to play for. In defense goes offense, offense goes to defense, and one blink of an eye and you've been swallowed whole by the pack.
Once again, Sia seems to have a very good run, and he already gets an overlap. And where will he go? He's sending one on the inside, and it's almost 3 wide into turn 1. And Afzan trying to sneak another move past Sathik Panda. Meanwhile, Sia just gets 2 for 1. What a move!
Indeed. And I hope it lies away if we weren't finally making those decisive moves. That's exactly what we want to see here, because his pace will definitely shine through. Yes, he's taking a lot of the track and then some, and has become the big loser in all of this. Blink and you are out.
Yep, and now he's got to do all over with Nyuki from the start. So yeah, he's definitely I'm not sure what's going on, whether is it like the guys are prepared for a wet weather race and then the dry is catching them off, but whatever it is, it doesn't seem like people are prepared for something like this.
Yep. Out in front, Aditya Gupta has got that steady footing, 1.4, 1.6 second gap to Athul Bhaskar. Naresh Agarwal is a little 2.5 seconds, 1.5 seconds from Aditya Gupta. So no changes there, unfortunately. So we're just keeping an eye on this battle in the mid pack. Yeah, let's see how all of that transpire as we go into the pit stops. It's a dry race through and through from the looks of it. The biggest loser being James Robin here. He got swallowed up by the pack. I think it was a mistake, and we'll have to see that later on. The Lambos are now fighting, same livery, Sia Singh going down the inside, being squeezed by Bouja there, and he misses his breaking point, and Sia Singh will take that any day.
Again, an absolute masterclass in playing mind games, just being there and putting the pressure on, and Nehit thought he could outbreak. He did look like he had a control situation, but then just goes off little wide, and Suyash just takes the corner like no one is there. Yeah, good racing, and Suyash has climbed up to P9 after that spin.
Yeah, the next one is definitely going to be interesting to watch, because that was the battle that caused all the mayhem for it to begin. Rohit Chakraborty having that great start in P8 now, unfortunately not being able to make any inroads on Abdul Bukit. James Robin now, as we kind of turn to the other scene, is slowly making his way back into the fray of things. He will take some time to do that, so I expect him to kind of catch up the rest of the folks by the end of the race.
Yep, and he makes a move on Nikhil Joji and moves on to P14. Nikhil Joji also seems to be slowly making his way back from the back. Santosh, who was running all the way back, is now in P16. So he seems to have made some positions up. Let's just have a look on the positions. I don't think we have seen that graphic yet so far. So let's see who the biggest winner has been. Of course, it's been Hardik Pari with 16 places gained so far. So yeah, good for him. And Raj Modi has lost 14 places, and been the biggest loser on this entire thing. Next to James Robin, who's lost 9 places. So obviously he will be looking back and he'll be like, what did I do wrong? He definitely wanted to change that, but can't do much right now. And yeah, he's just gonna have to just put his head down and see if he can do something better. Moving up ahead, these guys are still going side by side. We've been hammer and tongs at it for quite a while. Koushik is trying to send it on the inside. Sathik Panda has a peak but has to back out. Not enough overlap. That could have ended really bad. So good for him to back him out of it.
Has anyone pitted? There were 30 minutes remaining in this race. We'll have to see if yeah, Shivkaran has, Raj Modi has. Those are some of the two folks. Sean 7. He's even in the
I don't think
running
Shan 7
anymore.
has started the race, so.
Yeah.
What happened to Tarnish is DNF'd? What is going on today? I don't really get it. I don't know why Tarnish is DNF'd.
Danish has DNF'd and in his place, shockingly, we have Hardik Puri. How is this even possible?
I honestly I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened at Tarnish because he also did seem to be running a good race. Was consistently there, and I really did put him for a good podium today. It would have been a very good point swing for his favor, but it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be depth's gonna grow even higher.
Oh man, this guy can't catch him.
And Mahit gets a good overlap on the main straight on Yogi and moves up one position.
The person who can't catch a break in Yogi. So much fighting to gain a position only to lose in late run. So demoralizing. But such is racing. Oh no, Dava in P4. So that is subject to, I believe, some pit stops that we've seen. Shipkiran P15 was the last running guy. And who else? Nothing. Raj Modi and Shipkiran are the only folks who have, Shatruj's case still haven't pitted yet. I don't know. I need to understand why it is the way it is today with the likes of Pari being able to get so close so quickly. But he very well might be in the position to take P2.
Yep, it does look like he has a lot of pace, and he just set the fastest lap time last time with a 43.6. Meanwhile, the guys up ahead are doing 44.1. Even the leader Athul Bhaskar is doing 43.9. So yeah, he's got blistering pace, and he's not afraid to use it right now. And we see the McLaren coming out of nowhere, and just slightly swiping out of it. And yeah, that was I'm not gonna lie, that was caught me off guard.
Yes, I'm going into this. Enough is enough. I need a break from this. Let's come back into the action a little later. But yeah, top 4, top 5, top 6 still haven't been yet. I'm going to watch how that happens. That's still all to play for.
The pit window has been a very interesting factor so far. Like a lot of times the pit window has shuffled around the positions. We've seen podiums gained and lost just because there are some really wrong pit stop strategies or how you choose to change your tires and all those kind of factors played in. So yeah, that's always been a case. Sarthak going up ahead, Rohit seems to be again struggling with his inputs, and Sarthak is trying to make this an easy move on the outside, but I don't think that's happening right now. And Rohit is going defensive on the inside and seems to be holding on the position for now. Good for him.
Yeah, that's. I mean, he put his car in the right places there, which is great to see. Now, this is where you can see those inputs, those jaggedy inputs with the keyboard, really not helping his case. In sector 3 is where those smooth inputs will really help out. So this is all to play for. If Sarthak Panda has that pace and is not able to make any reasonable inroads, we're going to be losing a lot of time with the car ahead. But having said that, it looks like a very clean finish to the lap. Rohit Chakraborty now, still a lot of pressure going deep and going to the inside. Almost preemptively defending from Sarthak Panda now. It looks like he's having a seizure in that BMW, which is not such a pretty sight. Such a late move down the inside, misses his braking point completely, and loses 2 positions in mix of things. There's not a lot of pressure, I must be said, from our point of view, but yeah, some For all I know, a cat got onto his keyboard and started singing, so we can't say for sure.
Yeah, until then it was at least good enough, but I don't know what happened, whether he got spooked by the car behind or whatever, but yeah, he did with the marker, and that meant Sarthak Panda just had an easy move through, and so did Myogi, who caught a break for once, got an easy position and was not the one getting mugged this time around. And he looks to be having a good run on Sarthak Panda right now. Maybe the fortunes are turning in his favor.
Yes, indeed. This is the sector. It looks like he's gone deep. Sarthak Panda is now defending the inside, which now become the outside, and yeah, that position has gone in a jiffy. Yogi getting the better of everyone there, moving up into P8, which is provisional P8 because you've got the likes of Vijay Agarwal, Agide, A.M. San, Shiv Kiran, Nikhil Samre, Raj Modi.
Darknet having a nice scalper there. I'm not sure what happened, was there contact or was it just a control input? I'm not sure, but yeah, that definitely would have caused some jitter reactions in Shiv Kiran, who was right behind there. And coming in the leaders, the Aradhya and Atul have pitted. Herman and Hardik Pari have chosen to stay out for one more lap.
Yeah, that's. Let's see where Athul Bhaskar comes out. Does he get free air, fresh air? Is he going to be in the pack? That's all to play for. But Hardik Pari and Amananda are going a lap longer, and James Robin just waving to the crowd and missing P1. Like, what was that all about? It's gifting their place.
I think it is raining. I think it has started to rain. I think the wipers are on in the car, so I think the sprinkles have started to come in.
Oh.
That kind of makes sense why the drivers are missing turn one. Is he dancing around on the slicks, just hoping that he can get through? Let's see what kind of struggle Hardik Pari is going through. Did he time this right, or has he fumbled the situation to get a win? But he goes around, he struggles painfully, just going through the wet. Warning comes up on the board. It's time to switch for the wet tires. I wonder what happened to the guys who pitted earlier. That they went for slicks, hoping that it's gonna be dry all the way to the end. Yeah, so this is a curve I'm not sure if anyone were prepared for.
I hope the guys who pitted before Athul before almost 2-3 laps ago have put on the right tires, because I have a very great feeling that the folks like Raj Moti and Shiv Kiran are not on the right tire, so they would be kicking themselves because they have to do an extra stop. But as it stands, Hardik Pari, in the pits, and Athul Bhaskar is purely making those inroads now. So will he get back P1? Because he was around 5 seconds. But yeah, if you look at the frame of things, Athul Bhaskar is only going into the last set of corners here, and this might very well be close. But yeah, with everything said and done, they'll have to change tires, which takes a little bit longer, so it might not be that easy for Hardik Pari to actually get that lead. So let's wait and watch. Oh, he's done with the pits, he's going out. This is going to be a little bit close, as Athul Bhaskar now hot on the tail of Vijay Agarwal. And there is Hardik Pari. He is not more than 5 seconds and then some. But yeah, even Stevens between the two of them. Arati Gupta just about getting ahead of Hardik Pari. Now is the real battle between these two, because Arati Gupta did have a fantastic qualifying in the wet in P2. He had that pace to show for. Will he be able to keep it against a real threat like Hardik Pari? Let's wait and watch.
Yep, and we see a scramble. Oh, and he misses it, crashes into the wall and crashes into the wall again. I don't know if it's suspension damage or not. That was a very, very scrambly pit entry, my bad. So, yeah, I think that would have definitely cost him a lot more time and damage alone.
Oh man, 20 minutes to go for round 4 here. It's been a little bit on the quieter side, but yes, we have the changing conditions which are throwing the spanner in the works. Aradhya Gupta, this really has to have his bearings about him right now. All control, the smoothest of inputs, which we know he is very capable of doing. And this is Le Mans Ultimate round 4 of season 1 here. And yeah, taking a very wide line as compared to
Almost contact, I felt there was. Aradhya might be not too happy about it, but he did take a very wide line, which means that he gets a very good slingshot onto the straight. Hardik looked like he might have had an advantage by just keeping on the inside, but not sure if that had played evident enough. But I think at this point it's just trying to get into the head of Aradhya and unsettle him enough.
Indeed, but yeah, he took that wider entry, which gave him a good exit and the straight line speed into the long straight. But yeah, having said that, he missed slightly, ever so slightly, the breaking point into turn 1, and Hardik Parry right now is hot on his tail. Something I saw very interestingly was that only the rear brakes of that Porsche lit up. And he's looking a move down the inside, he's got that traction. Aradhya Gupta on the apex though, Hardik Parry round the outside, will he get the move? He's got the traction, the Max was staff in line, they're going side by side now, cutting through, where will Aradhya go? Can he squeeze? Oh, ever so slightly on the exit there, and yeah, Aradhya Gupta going anywhere but not in P2, and Hardik Parry making that decisive move up into P2.
Yep, Aradhya fought to the nail to make sure that he gave it all, and he almost had that place turn. It was like, I don't know how to put it, it was wheel racing at its finest, just inches away from disaster, but just having just enough respect and attention that you don't go into the other's line. So yeah, glad that both of them are walking away from this, and glad for Moto, who's had a sensational climb from P last to P2.
Yeah, and it just looks, at this point I might as well say that Vijay Agarwal is like a safety car, just splashing in the water and making go back a little bit drier. But in this case, is not helping Hardik Parry by spraying on that water. Looks to be in no man's land, driving all by himself. And yeah, you can see the flashing on Hardik Parry. Please get out of the way. My championship rival wins.
Yep, and just to let you know again, the blue flag rules are not like F1 where you have to scramble out of the way immediately. It's like you drive your own line, don't defend, and let the faster car through when you feel it's safe to do so. So Vijay Agarwal is not by any means required to get off the line and do it, but he's required to not defend or put up any kind of odd shapes to throw Hardik Parry off, which I think it was a bit of a risky overtake to send it down the inside over there. It's a very tricky corner, and in the wet it's even more hazardous, but good for him, he made it through. And now Aradhya is also making it through into this corner, but he overshoots the braking, and Vijay Agarwal just patiently waits for him to get through, which usually is not expected of them to do. They're supposed to just carry on their own line, but Vish is feeling a little generous and saying that fine, you go ahead.
Hardik Parry really liking that inside line, that sweeping right-hander. He made that move on Aradhya Gupta last time around too, and yeah, it just seems to be working for him. He's got a little bit of pace on Athul Bhaskar, I'd like to say, but no, this is just a tiny sheet doing its thing in Fuji. You go away from the track, into the track, very non-convexy. So the timing interval is always messing itself up. But the gap has increased to 6.3 seconds. So Athul Bhaskar definitely has the pace on him as of right now. But we'll have to wait and watch if anyone blinks and makes a mistake. Yellow flag somewhere on the track.
Go back. It's actually a fight for position, unlike the last blue flags. I think Vijay was confused that this was a blue flag car. He goes out of the way into turn 1 and Rajmodi moves up to P17. And Vijay Agarwal, I think he's trying to center on the inside. I think he's spooking Rajmodi enough, but yeah, I think that could have ended up in disaster if he had carried on with it. I'm not sure if he backed out of it or was it just the situation, but good thing it didn't end up in an instant.
That's exactly. Like you make these moves, it already is difficult in the dry to react to the car head just before the breaking point. But especially when he makes those erratic moves in the wet, you can just tense up and not have control, and it can be devastating to both cars. Having said that, clean example as you like.
Another Porsche
James
goal
Robin
was
and-
straight on the exit of turn 1, so yeah, the guys are not getting accustomed to the braking distances in the first corner. I guess they're all accustomed to the dry braking. Now they're gonna have to recalibrate themselves for this treacherous wet soaking conditions here in Fuji.
And yeah, James Robinson would be kicking himself. You know, he is P2 in the championship, and he's losing points hand over fist to all his rivals right now. Hardik Pari in P2 here, which is the worst case scenario for him. We've got a Puseba lose in this case. Wait, I can't even find it. Where is it?
He's in P4.
Oh, sorry, yeah, P4. So, and Abdul Mukid. So they're all right there and thereabouts.
Oh, Abzal takes a creative line and cuts the grass. I don't know what happened there. He didn't have to do that of all places, but yeah, he once again falls back. I think this has to be in the story of the race for Abzal so far. Makes a good move or capitalizes on someone's mistake and then ends up doing a mistake of his own and goes back and does rinse and repeat all over for him.
Yeah, James Robin will not need a lot more of that, and a lot so that he can move up the places. The next car ahead is 4.5 seconds.
Yep, I think the rain has kind of put a damper on the overall gaps. I think there's only two cars who are within fighting distance. You got the McLaren duo of Aninde and Shivkiran going at it, and then you have Abzan and James Robin doing their dance in the wet, swapping positions again and again. So let's see how long that goes for.
It's just a beautiful, especially when you got two cars just dancing in the rain. It's such a pretty sight. I know, of course, it's anything but inside the cockpit, especially when you're the car trailing behind. But for us, commentators and the audience, it's such a pretty sight from the outside.
Yep, it is, and it's called the equalizer for a reason. I mean, this is where your driver's instincts for a car control and seeing where the edge of the grip is. That's where you see the difference. Like the car can make some difference, yes, but this is where the drivers can really make a difference. And we are seeing that like some drivers are struggling while some drivers are thriving in this scenario. So yeah.
The gap has come down to 5 seconds and a bit between the top two, but then again in a matter of seconds it's gone up to 6 seconds. So I don't know what to tell you right now with these gaps. I hate Fuji for this one reason. LMU guys, devs, please fix this.
I have a feeling
like
it's more like the third sector discrepancy. The Lamborghini can be a bit handful to the third sector. I mean, the Porsche I heard is an absolute dream through there. The car just turns.
What is this? It's 10.7 now. How
Okay,
is
now
this?
that I don't understand. This I don't. And wait, Aradhi Gupta and Hardik Pari are at it again. Hardik had did a mistake most likely.
Actually did make a mistake, okay. So I don't know what's false positive and negative now. So this beautiful switchback from Hardik Pari there. They're getting squeezed well yet again, but this time Hardik Gupta on the inside into sector 2. They're still side by side. Will he break a little too late? Yes, he does. Gets the apex. Is squeezing into
Oh
the
my
inside
God,
and is
no.
still found Hardik Gupta. That is the collision of the day. The qualifying ban is going to just take him to a place, and this contact is going to take him even further away from the championship. I think Gupta will be fuming in that seat right now.
It did look like the tried to send him on the inside, and he was all over the curves there, rattling and sending Moto off into the grass, and Moto just spinning around and proper chain reaction stuff. And Aradia seems to be rattled by it, is going off a little bit, but he still got a good result on his hands, so he needs to stay calm, stay focused, and see this race through. He's still not lost a lot of time, to be honest.
110 minutes to go. The gap has smashed up almost 2.5 times over the last lap. The gap was 6 seconds and is now 15 and a bit seconds. There was a hard-fought, nitty-gritty battle between Hardik Pari and Aradhya Gupta. Stewards will definitely be deciding that one a little later. Athul Bhaskar got close but not close enough. That seems to be his race, just cruising along in P4. Abdul Muqid in P5, still not able to make any inroads there. Gaps fairly big here today, but yeah, one person who's consistently been in the action throughout is the man in P10 who's trying to make a move on James Robin. Azan.
Yep, I mean, Azan has been just going up and down the field, making moves, making mistakes, rinse and repeat all over, and he's been providing a lot of action this race for us to keep us entertained. So yeah, good on him for that. And but yeah, coming to the losers, I think ABD will be really disappointed because I think looking at all of these things happening, he could have capitalized and gained a good podium result today, if not for that mistake earlier on. I'm not sure if it was a mistake or if it was involved in an incident, but yeah, that will have to be dissected later. He'll definitely be feeling a little like he missed out on a very important result today.
I wouldn't. Okay, so let you could take the decision. It wouldn't be a bad time to have a replay right now and have a look at what went wrong, but we can do that maybe in the podium interviews too. Because Azan is really mounting on that pressure right now. It looks like James Robin, in all those going up and down, not having the clear-cut pace that you would have liked on Azan. Maybe this condition is just favoring Azan, and yeah, taking that alternate line is just making that Halloween themed Porsche all that more menacing on James Robin. But yeah, all that spray would probably be cooling that Porsche down.
Yep, and he just saw like the same tactics again, taking the alternate line, trying to get in the middle of James Robin. Once again, James Robin takes a wider line, meanwhile Azan takes another line through there. And
he got chopped off there,
yep.
Losing all that pace. It's going to hurt him through all across the straight. It's a perfect tactic from James Robin there. A bit silly if you ask me from Azan. Could have placed his car a little bit better, but that gap increasing almost to second.
Once again, the third sector, that's like you need to open up inside to make sure you get a good line. If you take a wider line, it means that you get a good slingshot onto the main straight and you get enough dividends through there. Meanwhile, if you want to be aggressive and rash, you can send it on the inside, but again, you need to be placing it picture perfect to even get any kind of results out of that. In that case, there wasn't enough of a close gap to do that.
Indeed. I was going to say, hey, looks like Hardik Pari has a good pace and he's brought down the gap from 15.6 to 13.3. But now it's gone back to up to 15, so I don't know. It's just messing with me so much. But yeah, understandably, it's alright. Let's walk through the field, shall we, Deepak? Who's the biggest winners, who's the biggest losers?
So again, Hardik Pari, 19 places. So impressive run. Obviously, yes, that incident will definitely be looked at later on. It's going to be a very, I mean, he's becoming an habitual visitor to the stewards room. So hopefully this time around it doesn't go against him, because he really needs a break from all those shenanigans. And right behind we got Seman, who's also moved up to 6 places. That's really good. And we also have Shiv Kiran, who's moved up 10 places. And Like the people who've lost a lot, of course, there's Stanish, who's gone from P3, and I did predict he was predicted a podium, and then he just decides to just throw it around, go for the DNF. Again, a lot of questions to be answered, a lot of mysteries to be solved, but I guess we'll do it sometime later. We've got 4 minutes to go to the end of this race, and Athul Bhaskar seems to be dominating this without any doubt.
Wait a minute. Why is Aditya Gupta in P2?
Oh god, did Motor do a mistake again? I did see a brief flash of yellow flag. Oh god, the conditions definitely are catching these guys off guard for sure. So Aradhya now gets that P2. I mean, we're really missing a lot of these things. It's just so quiet, and suddenly just one guy just sneakily just falls off.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it against him to say that, hey, this is my clean move, I gave the position back to him, please don't give me a race ban. I wouldn't be very capable of doing that. But there's something I wanted to call out. While these are the big winners, the big losers, yeah, there are a couple of them actually who, if you look at the likes of Raj Modi, Aman Randhawa, Manish Agarwal, and Ankit Tyagi. I'm going to give my prediction, but I was hoping that the Lexus of Ankit Tyagi would actually take it on top, but looks like that's very, very well not the case. And these guys have left the session in distaste. We'll definitely catch up with them later on.
I think Ankit Tyagi did have a very rough incident. I think we did see his Lexus getting turned around, so probably just had a lot of damage through those and just called it quits. Yeah, like I said, a lot of answers we'll probably get it after the race in the LMU chat. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very spicy event. Again, people are going to definitely lose their minds over some of the incidents that happened, but end of the day, it is racing, and sometimes incidents do happen. Considering the nature of the circuit and everything, there were some incidents bound to happen. It was unfortunate. Hopefully people learn from those mistakes and improve. After all, that's what racing is all about.
Yep, and all of this is possible thanks to our sponsor and partner Racesims. They have our provider servers, and they provide some exquisite custom wheels, cockpits, and all things simple racing. Please do check them out. Really appreciate all the help that they've given us over the course of this season. Under 2 minutes to go. Where is the main man, Athul Bhaskar, who's going to be almost having both wheels on that trophy and that prize pool. Is gone completely his way, and the gap is increased to 21 and a bit seconds now. That's pretty much done and dusted here with the last lap. He's cross sector 1, so it's looking very, very good for him.
Herman Randhawa fighting for stops here, fighting for P17. Definitely not very expected him to see up in the grid, but well, that's where we are today. He's fighting with Raj Modi to see if he can put the P17 away. Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's still points being pushed at the end of the day, I think. So he's gonna have to be doing everything he can, or at least for the bragging rights, of course. Goes around the outside line. Not a very favorable thing to do with that. It's very treacherous. You can easily just go off, touch the gas, and go further on. And now he sends on the inside, going side by side. The guys are not done yet. The clock is ticking down, but Herman Randhawa makes it out and makes a move.
Well, that was easier than he would have liked. Nick of time too, but yeah, makes a little difference in the grand scheme of things.
And Raj Modi comes back at it, sends on the inside, and there's another incident where I think that's Hardik Pari getting spun around again, and that has played into this battle with Raj Modi getting an advantage through this. I think Nikhil Samre might have got in the way of Hardik Pari, and oh, this is ever so close. Oh, and the blue flag gets nudged off. Yeah, that's a very clumsy end to the race.
Whoa, there's just another Ferrari on
the
Apex
Ferrari on
level.
Ferrari violence going on. Yeah. Yeah, and these guys will be taking a checkered flag. And I guess
And he has, yes. Aditya Gupta in P2 and Hardik Pari in P3. That is the top three for round 4 of season 1 year. Of same one another very consistent result for Abdul Mukid in P5. That's the way the cookie crumbles here.
coming across in P6. It was a very rough start, but I think he just kept his head down and just put in those laps. Comes up P6, and we have Miyogi, who had a very topsy-turvy race, comes up to P7 after all that midfield melee going on. Karthik Panda coming in at 8. James Tobin and Afzan Mimir are still going at it, but James Tobin holds on for the P9. And Afzan, who has been providing us a lot of entertainment in this race, rounds up the top 10. P11 is our keyboard warrior Rohit Chakraborty, who comes in at a respectable position, not too bad, and comes in at P11 and hands him a lot of points. And P12 is taken by Nikhil Joji, who's had a bit of a quiet race, was in the last for a short while, but has found its way up after P12 after all those incidents and the wet weather chaos. We have Anir coming up P13 and Shiv Kiran 14, Nahit Pahajan 15, Herman Randava in 16, Raj Modi in 17, Nikul Samre in 18th, Vijay Agarwal which is in 19th, Santosh SK comes across in P20, and that I believe is all the race finishers we have. And we had Tanesh Agarwal and Ankit Tyagi, who had called it quits for reasons unknown as of now. Yep, that's what it is.
Whew. That's so many twists and turns, and unfortunately not for the better for most of our qualifying drivers who qualified in the top 5-6. Yeah, that's just how the equalizer equalizes, I'm afraid. Let's have look. Let me try to bring in the big boys from. Wait, I don't think I'm heard here. Is it Discord? No, there's no Discord input.
No, I mean the
think I'm
speaker
heard.
input just captured. Don't worry, you are audible. Don't worry about that. Okay, let me think.
I'm
We have to
getting
bring in
Athul.
Atul and Moto and I think Aradhya Gupta as well. Let's see if we can get them on here.
In the rest. Nee.
Okay, we've got Aradhya here, Atul is here, and Moto is here. I guess we can get started. Couple ready to get started with the proceedings.
Okay, P3, the big man in the house, Adi Parif, all the way from P20 to P3, and so many times in P2 as well. Walk us through your race, Moto.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually pretty shit, man. Like, I bottled that pretty heavily. I've spun like 3 times with no one nearby, so. Yeah, P1 was probably also possible, but yeah, I think I was just pushing too hard, and I think I didn't up the TC values enough, so yeah, probably just. Try to just get too much out of the car. And yeah, I mean, all things considered, starting from the back, P3, fine, I'll take that.
All right. No,
I
but
guess
like
that summed up everything. There's quite a lot. I mean, we were looking at your gaps, and it was like 6 seconds to Atul, and then suddenly, I mean, the gaps were fluctuating here and there. We're just having a discussion about that. And the couple suddenly like, now it's 10 seconds. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. And then you go on board, and then you're on with Aradhya Gupta going at it. So yeah, I mean, I think. And there was an incident between you and Aradhya Gupta. Why don't you talk us through that? What exactly happened there?
That was pretty funny, man. Like, I think into the chicane, I think he broke very late. I tried to go around the outside, tried to get on power too early, had an oversteer, and I ended up hitting him. So, yeah, I mean, skill issue from my side there, as very common these days. But yeah, it's like I don't know what the stewards will make of it, but I think it's fine. I think Radhe also knows that it was just a bit too much rubbing over there, but yeah, it's fine, I guess. But what is funny is my lap one was hilarious, man. I didn't move a muscle, I didn't do anything. I just drove, and what do you know, lap two I'm P8 or something. So yeah, it was pretty hilarious. So I had my entertainment sorted for that.
Okay, well, I mean, good for you. You got a good result out of this, and yeah. So let's move on. Let's move on to P2. Aradhya Gupta. So yeah, just talk us through your race, man. It looked like you had a quiet race until the rain started coming down. Things got a little too close to comfort. There was some tight racing. There was some collisions. Yeah, talk us through that all.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty boring race for the first part of it, but I was actually kind of struggling in dry conditions, if anything more, because I had not practiced a bit for the dry. So that was a bit difficult. I had to get my reference points right. I learned my braking points and adjust accordingly towards that. But once I got used to it, I had pretty decent pace. I was able to keep up with Atul, which was pretty surprising for me considering being on a controller. And yeah, after that was yeah, when wet came, then again it took me a while to adjust, which gave enough more time for Moto to catch me. And yeah, he managed to overtake me quite a few times with this skill, but then he kept making mistakes. And yeah, the chicane move, I'm also not sure. I think so that was also a bit dirty on my part as well, because I broke way too late for it. But yeah, it's just hard racing only. But I'll review it later. And yeah, except that, I just kept driving my race, hoping to keep the car going in the correct direction. And yeah, somehow managed to come out with a P2. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Okay, so yeah, I guess it's a very good result, and considering a controller as well, it's a very commendable result. So yeah, just keep going, keep inspiring all the controller drivers out there, and yeah, I think you need to move on to a person who did not even got featured on the stream today. So Atul, we did not even go on board you because you're so far up the order. There's nothing happening up there. So yeah, just say whatever you have to say, man. Go on.
I mean, my race is like pretty controlled. Like I would say, I initially when we started the race, I didn't know it would be dry. So when I found that there was so much grip on offer, I pushed. But when I'm pushing, even though I'm like gaining time on P2, it doesn't really help my race because I'm burning through the tires. And if it didn't rain, then it would screw me over in the later stages. So then I started controlling the race again with saving tires, saving fuel. And then yeah, the rain came, and I was just before the final turn when the conditions are like going really terrible. So made the call to pit, and then ever after that, like it was just being really smooth on the inputs, even though I had like a few moments, but yeah, kept it on track, I guess.
Right. So speaking of the weather conditions, we were led to believe it's going to be a full wet weather condition race. And again, we are caught off guard when it started out dry, and it had the impression
You're
that it was
not
going to
the
be a
only
full.
one.
Yep. And we had the impression it was going to be a full dry race. So what happened there? Was it like the setting was set with the probability, or like what was the case?
This is the probability. It's set 50%, so there's nothing on like the person who sets up the server. It's all up to chance. It can rain or it cannot. So
Thank you for explaining probability to us.
yes, you're welcome.
All right. I guess that's the race done today. And yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a topsy-turvy race for everyone involved. It had a lot of incidents, had a lot of overtakes, some good moves, some mistakes. Typical race, to be honest. But yeah, with that, we had to conclude this stream. And yeah, I mean, today we had to do this because there is a 24-hour event planned in LMU. So I think some of our boys are going to be participating. So wishing them all good luck. IRC Sentience luck has not always been that great. So hopefully it switches around this time. And yeah, I guess it's time to move on and enjoy the F1 penultimate round for this week. I guess everyone has their favorites, and let's hope whatever comes through comes through. So yeah, it's a very good night from all of us here in IRC. And once again, a huge thanks to our sponsors, Racesims. Do check out their website and do use our coupon code IRC to get some discounts on the checkout. And so, yep, it's me, Deepak, Kapil, and all of us here at IRC signing off. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.